Evening, WDWA and Wrestle Talk podcast family. Welcome into another great episode of Elevation, episode number 23. And tonight, Donnie, we have the Holy Grail winner, my personal pick to go all the way. Why,
Oh,
why, why, why Keys?
why do we have white keys? Because he has the keys to the kingdom. He's still sexy and blessed, I think. But yeah, white keys. He'll be a good one. Can't wait to get him on the air with us.
Yeah, maybe that's a question that we can pose to him tonight and find out about. Is he still part of Sexy and Blessed? What's going on with him and Chulo? Because there are still questions there to be answered. I mean, with this Holy Grail, he could cash in on Chulo.
He could, and he could cash in on Austin Kingsley as well, our champion. So you think of that. Two guys he spent a long time with supremacy. And then we've got implications coming up on this next show that we'll talk about in a little bit, where there's a number one contender for the tag titles, which is held by another former member of supremacy, Zakar Shaw. But you could have Fuerte and LDJ take that and be the number one contender. So, he could, and that's the thing with the Grail too. He could, I guess, bring Chulo along and challenge for the tag gold, right?
I believe so. There's just so many scenarios and so many questions. As always, we always say we always have more questions than answers. Maybe tonight we'll get a few of those answers. I don't know. It remains to be seen. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But we're going to try. We're going to see what we can do about getting some answers tonight.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Sheila checking in and Tammy checking in.
Hey
Great,
guys.
great to see you guys here tonight. But yeah, definitely. So as we were saying, we got into it a little bit here. There was a lot of action at the Holy Grail tournament, and oh my goodness, there were things that I don't think anybody had on their bingo card for the night. And there were brackets busted right off the bat. So, we have got to jump into this. And I tell you, so let's see here. I've got the results here for us. So, match number one, we saw Sean Cannon and Stephen Forte. And, right off the bat here, so much action, but we saw Sean Cannon come out victorious and advance to the next round. I tell you, Donnie, it was one heck of a match, and I know that you agree with me
Mhm.
on that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Fuerte looked great in the match until he didn't, and that was right up at the end. And it almost went Fuerte's way. He was going for the money shot. If he could have locked it in, that would have been that. But instead, it was reversed. Cannon hit that reverse DDT, and it was all over at that point. But great match, kind of really set the pace for the night. Or especially for the first round. Some people got their heart broke right there. I know there were a few people that picked Fuerte to win, but
Yeah,
Cannon.
I know. I had picked Forte to win. I know my bracket was already busting that right off the bat, but it was one heck of a match. And, then another round one tournament match was AK Bane. And of course, he had
Mhm.
JTR in his corner versus CEO. And this match here, there was a lot of AK Bane in it. And but CEO, he really did get some good shot on, and but it really looked like that AK Bane was going to take the win in this one. It really did. And then all at once, JTR decided he wanted to bring his belt buckle into things like he always likes to do, and it backfired. He ended up hitting AK Bane instead of hitting JTR, and I mean, sorry, hitting AK Bane instead of hitting CEO, and that allowed CEO to win the match, and AK Bane was none too happy about that miscue at the end.
Not at all. Not at all. And I wonder, that it's another one of those things where we end up having questions. How is this going to play out? Bane was pissed. JTR was pissed as well. But when you look at it, JTR's belt buckle is 1-1 in the Holy Grail tournament. Kingsley got the Grail because of JTR's buckle hitting DeMarcus Kane. So he was going for 2-2 with the belt buckle, and it just didn't work out this time. CEO, too smart. He's a veteran. He's been around forever and ever, and he's able to move out of the way, and it costs the big man. And I think Bane was more pissed because he called for the kill. He said, "It's done. It's over. I'm ending it." And then JTR wants to insert himself right then. So timing was off, and I don't think anybody saw Bane getting put out in the first round.
Yeah, definitely. And I once again my bracket was busted right there again, because that was two of them right off the bat that I had picked that just didn't go the way I thought they would. But then we went to match number 3, which was another first round qualifier where we saw Aristote versus Ykies. Another great match there, and we saw Ykies come out with the victory on that one, and it just it was something. Of course, we did see some post-match action on that one as well, Donnie.
We did, and Keys paid for that opening round contest with Aristote the entire night. So Aristote, for whatever reason, was working the neck. And I think we even asked about it during the broadcast. Like, does he know something about Ykies and Ykies conditioning? We don't know. Because he was really working that neck of Keys. And we saw it give Keys issues during that match, obviously. And the rest of the night, he was really favoring the neck. He was holding it, various times. So Aristote didn't end up with the victory. Obviously, we know Keys ended up taking the Holy Grail and winning it all. But Aristote was remembered. Keys definitely remembered it throughout the night, working over that neck. So maybe that's another question we can ask Keys. Why was he working the neck? What was he hoping to gain from that? Because to the best of my knowledge, I don't believe Aristote's finisher involves really anything with the neck. So another one of those questions. Maybe he was softening up for Jamie Hall in that clutch, but
yeah, that's definitely a question we will have to ask. There's a lot of whys we got to ask. So
many,
but we'll get there. So then the final round 1 Holy Grail tournament match, where we saw Jamie Hall versus Ranch Hand Carlson, and just absolute wow. That match, it was something. But in the end, we did see Jamie Hall take the victory over Ranch Hand Carlson. When he did slap the submission on him, but Ranch Hand did not submit. The referee stopped the match when Ranch Hand did not respond to the hand drop. So, he did not submit to him, just to be clear. But Jamie did win by a technicality. So
put the big guy to sleep.
Great match.
He's a big fella, as he says. And that big fella took a nice little nap there, courtesy of Mr. Jamie Hall. And Jamie Hall, if you remember, was my pick to win it all. So I said Hall was going to win it all, and I was that close.
But, even though that match was not for the Mid-Atlantic Championship, when Ykies walked out, he grabbed that Mid-Atlantic Championship and he took it with him. And,
Right.
not Ykies, sorry, Jamie
Yeah.
Hall. When
Yeah.
Jamie Hall walked out, he grabbed that Mid-Atlantic Championship. He took it with him. And, he kept saying, I beat him. This is mine. And so he kept saying he was the champion, but it was not for the title. So the title did not change hands. And, but, like I say, Jamie did walk out with that. But then we went into the second round of the Holy Grail tournament. And in the second round, we saw Sean Cannon versus CEO. You know, and in this match, there was once again lots of back and forth, lots of action, but we saw Sean Cannon come out victorious after a little shenanigans there.
I don't remember the shenanigans. What was it? I remember Sean Cannon working the legs and the knee, and we knew why that was happening. We called it during the broadcast. Like, we know why he's doing that. We know. I mean, everybody knows he was out for a while when he was in Money and Power because of a knee injury. So we knew that was one of the targets. We just didn't know that what Cannon was going to be working. So yeah,
Yeah, but
refresh my memory. What did Cannon do to get?
if I remember correctly, it was a low blow
Uh,
when the referee was not looking that took CEO down so that he could go ahead and get that 3 count on him.
I guess you're right. I mean, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it now. I thought I remembered him tapping him out, but I guess maybe I was wrong on that. Maybe I was thinking of another match, but I don't know.
Unless I got confused here, but
No, I think you're probably right. We just got to watch it when it comes on Frontline again.
but uh, but yeah, I believe there were some shenanigans there. But then we went to the next round 2 match where we saw Hollow Jamie Hall versus Ykies. And my
And
goodness, let me tell you, this match, several times you saw spots that you thought it could be over for Keys. Several times Jamie Hall tried to make Keys submit, but he did not successfully get Keys to submit. And then, next thing you know, here comes Ranch Hand out, and then one thing led to another, and we saw Ykees using the corner, and getting Jamie Hall down on that mat and getting that 1, 2, 3. The first time Jamie Hall has been pinned for 3 seconds in WDWA. His first
woo,
loss, so no longer is he unpinned, no longer is he undefeated. Jamie Hall has been defeated and was eliminated from the tournament.
it was not supposed to be a handicap match, which is basically what it turned into. Now, somebody's going to come on here and say Ranch Hand never touched him. I mean, technically he did. He ripped that title out of his hands and stuff like that. So he did, sort of put his hands on. But Ranch Hand was out there coaching from the sidelines. He was telling Keys, kick off the buckle, fight back on him, kick off, and third, fourth time he yelled it at Keys. Key, got a little bit of oxygen, blood supply back to the brain, and he listened to Carlson, and that's what happened. So I don't know that. I don't think we should count that as a one-on-one loss. So maybe we just add a little asterisk to the side and say that yes, Jamie Hall has been pinned in WDWA for the first time, and it was a team effort. So he lost basically a handicap match.
You can put an asterisk by it. You can do whatever you want, but that one that's in the loss column now is there. No matter how you look at it, a loss is a loss. And if you want to be technical, you want to say that, well, because Carlson came out and Carlson kept telling Ykies, use the corner, kick in the corner, and he did it, then what's the difference between JTR being out there with his guys and yelling advice to them? There's no difference there. If you're going to say, well, he didn't win because of ranch hand, then, JTR's guys, when he gets involved, I guess they didn't win because of JTR's involvement.
We could take it even further. Whenever the fans yell hook the leg when it doesn't happen and something happens, we might as well throw all those out too. Nobody's ever won anything in WDWA after that.
So, bottom line is he got pinned 1, 2, 3. He wasn't happy about it at all. I found it to be very comical. And so did several other people, and he had already been needling at me all night long. So when he got pinned, I absolutely laughed. And, and yes, he saw me laugh, and no, I'm not worried about it. But it is what it is.
I was worried I was going to be solo commentating the rest of it. I was like, he's going to come over here and murder you. We're just going to put you to sleep right here on the table. You're going to be snoring. I'm going to have to mute your mic the entire rest of the show. But it didn't happen.
So,
and I'm glad I'm glad it didn't happen. There was so much to call that night. I don't think I would have wanted to do it all by myself.
But yeah, so then after that matchup, we then went into tag team championship action where we saw UCK versus Zakar Shaw and Clay Jacobs for the tag team championships. Lady Glory locked in a cage, which she was none too happy about. Although once she got in there, she was live streaming on the UCK page, from inside the cage. So she turned it into a joke, I think. But before she actually got in there, she was none too happy about it. And, we saw a lot of action in that. We saw tables, we saw ladders, we saw chairs.
We had a sword
fight. You name it, we saw it. It was supposed to be a ladder match, but it was TLC.
It was like a lightsaber battle in the ring. And I don't even remember. I think it was the car and just Jay. One of them had a kendo stick. What did the other one have? A crutch or something? It was crazy. And you mentioned the table. And then things went this way and that. For the longest time, it looked like our tag champs were going to retain. And then what happened?
Yeah, then we saw Clay walk over to the cage, demanded Lady Glory be let out, took the key, he ripped the key right out of Joe's hand, unlocked the cage, got Lady Glory out, and then began to put her in the ring and decided he was going to assault Lady Glory. And in the end, it just did not work out because, during that whole assault, UCK was pissed off and able to overtake Clay for the victory.
Yeah,
so UCK, our new tag team champions.
I wonder if they're going to do Freebird rules for that, and Glory's going to be in there sometimes too. I mean, she's in there anyway, so you might as well let her defend it occasionally and see what happens. But Clay took what wasn't supposed to be a part of this match. That Gavin went out of his way, securing the cage. Gavin was standing at the cage. We had 3 refs, 2 security guys, and Gavin Jackson that you had to go through to get to the cage to let Glory out. And then Glory with blowing the powder in his face. And that's really what set him off. And he was getting that door off at that point. Gavin was telling him, no. Clay's going to do what Clay wants. We all know that. Once those voices start going in his head, and he was a bull. He was blinded by rage. He wanted to do exactly what you said he did. He wanted to inflict as much pain on Lady Glory as he could, and it turned around and backfired. And Zakar didn't even know what happened till it was too late. He knew.
As Zakar was asking, how did she get out? What happened? And Clay said, my bad. It was on me. I'm sorry. But you know,
And there was
ultimately
yeah,
the titles are now with UCK. So
bloody match too. Clay went right into those thumbtacks that they were trying to put everybody else through. So saw him
yeah,
picking their.
exactly. So after all that action, the show still not over because we had the finals of the Holy Grail tournament. And, in the finals, of course, we saw Sean Cannon versus Ykees, who came out victorious and now holds the Holy Grail that he can cash in for a title shot anytime he wants.
Anytime, any title, except for the women's. I don't know if you can do that one.
That would
That's
be
a
interesting.
question for Gavin.
So,
If
you
Grady
know,
against Ykees, I mean, I'd watch that.
definitely, and once again, great match, a lot of action, you know, this Ykees was able to overcome any tricks Sean Cannon tried to pull to come out victorious in the end. And it was great to see Ykees come out with a victory. Cannon none too happy about it.
No, none at all.
Um, but definitely a heck of a show in the end.
And I mean, if you saw his post afterwards, he was really down on himself. This is not the first Holy Grail, as he stated before, that he's been in. This isn't even the first Holy Grail that he's lost in the finals. Like 2 years ago, he lost in the finals to Jordan Evans. So it's you know, and Jimmy was there to see things too. Jimmy didn't get involved. I wouldn't mind seeing Jimmy jump in there and maybe get something going for Cannon, but that's the way it happens sometimes. He made it to the finals again, but Keys was able to pull it out despite being, like I said, he was favoring that neck. Aristotle did a number on him, and people just continued piling it on. Obviously, Jamie did a number on him. He locked him in the Cobra clutch a couple times. Had it not been for I think really Keys' conditioning and everything, he would have been out in that match. He would have knocked him out, put him to sleep the same way he did Carlson. But again, I talked about it before. White Keys is in tremendous shape. He puts his workouts up. He has a vlog out there where he talks a lot about his background and things he does. And he's very accomplished. Anything that man sets his mind to, he ends up somehow being able to do. And he said he was going to win the Grail. He won the Grail. He proved you right again. So there's a reason you're 3 years in running hardcore champion for the FWWC, right?
Not running. I did lose it at Mania.
Oh,
My reign is over. So 3 years and I lost it. But, hey, I'm still the tag champion, though. Still tag champions. But, it is what it is. I got my eyes on bigger prizes. But, we can talk FWWC a little bit later. But, if you missed any of the action at the Holy Grail tournament, be sure to catch Frontline, because that is where you're going to get caught up on all the action you missed, and even some things that you may not have seen. Something that may have taken place backstage, or a backstage interview or something. It's going to be there on Frontline and we didn't see it happen there. So be sure to check out Frontline for all of the action that you missed. And let's check out a little thing for Frontline real quick here.
Step into the big house. Earn your stripes in the big house. The crowd is jumping, the crowd is loud. Everybody's rowdy all around the WDWA.
Every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, youtube.com/Wild Patriot 22. Check out Frontline. Juan does an absolute great job with that show. He puts a lot of work into it and just does a heck of a job with the production. And you'll be hearing myself and Dashing Donnie Diablo, and Steve Netz when he can join us is there, and just absolute great show. So much things that you can catch right there on Frontline that you just seem to miss at the show. So
Right. And it's not always just on Thursdays. There was a special episode that was dropped 4 p.m. this last Saturday, and that had the tag match with Tiff Grady, Sis Sasaki, Scarlet Maiden, and I can't remember who else was in that tag match now. We had Aristote, we had TJ Price, we had that match. There were 3 great matches on there. So again, if you haven't checked out Frontline, check out this last Saturday's episode. Get caught up before the show this Saturday.
definitely, definitely. But Donnie, before we get to our guest here real quick, we talk about things you don't see at the shows and things that you see on Frontline, or if you pay attention to Facebook, things that you can catch. I don't know if you caught it or not,
I was going to
but
ask. I think
there was a few words from Austin Kingsley about the show this past week and the results and everything. So let's check out what Austin Kingsley had to say.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. See, they recognize greatness here in the beautiful city of Charleston, South Carolina. Greatness. A thing that your 2026 Holy Grail Trophy winner, Ykies, knows nothing about. Ykies, congratulations, my friend. Because you are going to have a trophy that you are unable to cash on the biggest championship in WDWA, the WDWA Heavyweight Championship, held by Austin Kingsley V and defended by Money and Power. So your best chance, if I'm being honest, is probably to go after your old buddy Chulo Montana, take his title, because the moment you lay eyes on this, it's the moments that you get embarrassed by me.
Big words from our champion there, and what a message he had for Ykees. And, I can't wait to find out what Ykees has to say about that message that was sent from Austin Kingsley.
I think Keys is going to say, "Didn't I already beat that sucker?" or something along those lines. He's going to say it better, but I'm just imagining that's what Keys is going to say. Something.
Well, I tell you what, Donnie, let's not wait any longer. Let's find out what he has to say. Let's welcome him in here. He is our 2026 Holy Grail winner. He's the one and only Ykees.
Wow. What's up, WDWA?
How you doing, Ykees?
I'm sexy and blessed as always. I'm standing here from an amazing tournament. Went through amazing competitors, but I stand here as your WDWA Holy Grail champion of 2026. Like, what a night, right?
It was one heck of a night. So how's the neck doing, because we did see a lot of stuff, a lot of work on that neck,
Y'all see,
and I
y'all
don't
see
know,
this
I don't know
ice?
why.
You see this? I'm gonna tell you why. You see this ice on my neck? Because I'm still chill. I'm still
Nice.
chill. But they try to take me out. They want to end my career before I get started. Like, they hate
got a lot to talk about your career, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that want to know how Ykees got started.
Yeah. Ever since I stepped in the doors, people always looked at me a little side eye. because they see I had the keys and they slowly unlocking and turning. And I believe it started especially when I won this. This shows that the keys I have is real and they unlocking something.
Well, that right there is going to unlock any title opportunity in WDWA you want. We,
And
established that. So, and how does
Yeah,
it feel to be the first man in WDWA to pin Hollow Jamie Hall?
wow, what a battle we had. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
it was.
I didn't know if I was going to, I didn't want to doubt myself because I do have the keys, but it was times where I didn't know if my neck was getting stuck, if it was getting crooked. Everyone tried to break my neck. Aristotle key it's like they seen it. They like a shark in the water. They was attacking it, but I had the fans. They was like my doctors out there, man.
Right.
They kept
even
me
though
in there.
yeah, even though some people, who I won't give you their names, but they're on the screen with us right now. Um,
Yeah, no.
want to put asterisks next to your win and not sure that you won it because of the fact Carlson was out there and Carlson was coaching you. What do you have to say to people like that?
Listen, I believe in order to be a good leader, you have to be led and you got to be able to take directions. Then you got to be able to hear the people. If anything going to help me win, I'm going to win. But no one, Carson, he was out there to even the odds. You didn't see Jamie out there trying to cheat like how he kept doing on on something.
Yeah.
Like he want no see, but you only see what you want to see. Don't be up, man. We was good last year when
Right.
everybody
Yeah.
didn't like
Yeah.
me.
I know.
We was we was cool, but now people like me. You want to be a hater? The switch up.
Yeah, because everybody else likes you, man. That's the way it goes now. It's the way it
They
goes.
was
And
liking me
speaking of
when they
like,
didn't like me.
that's true too. But speaking of liking you, how is all this listening to the fans and the fans being behind you and all that? How is that affecting your relationship with Chulo,
You
or
know,
has it?
I've always been my own person. I love Chulo. He's my best friend. We traveled the world together, and we had did a good thing in WDWA, especially when we had a great tag team run. But we still are individuals. I'm an individual. Can't nobody tell me how to move based off of how they feel about people. I have my own principles. I have the keys, so I can't go based off what another person do. I have to agree to it. And if we don't agree, we don't agree. He doing his thing. He the champion for now. You never know.
Mhm.
And I'm doing my thing. So all
Well,
love.
and
Iron sharpens iron.
And speaking of Chulo and him being champion and not knowing, I'm sure when you were backstage just before we brought you on, you saw the message from Austin Kingsley that we played, and so you've heard what Austin Kingsley had to say, and he was telling you you better go for Chulo instead of him. What do you have to say about that? What do you got to say about that message?
First, let me congratulate the champion. Congratulations, Austin. You are our current heavyweight champion. Focus on your reign while it lasts. I've been his friend. I've seen him where he came from and where he at now, and I'm proud of him. But just how you got there, we all have our goals, and that's to be at the top. So heavy is the head of the crown, and I have the keys to make that happen for me.
Right. Now people see where you're at right now. People see the product that Ykies is and what you bring to the table now. How did you start? What's the origin of Ykies?
Why keys? Why keys was still is. I always love professional wrestling. Just like many other people, like saved my life. I like the entertainment. I like the action. I like the storytelling of it all. And I have brothers and I have sisters. It's a lot of us in my family, and we wrestled all the time. Every birthday, I would get the WWE game when it came out, from Just Bring It On Up. And I always told my mother, Mom, Mom,
Mm.
that I am a pro wrestler. She was like, don't try this. It say don't try this at home. I'm like, why? I'm a professional wrestler. They said don't try unless you're a professional. And I always knew I was gonna be a professional. So when I started at MCW, it was like, "Duh, I have arrived."
Nice. All right. First match. Who was your first match against? And how do you think that first match went? Did anything really go off the rails there?
You know, it's so crazy. My first match, it was me and Austin tag teaming.
Oh,
My debut was a tag team against Mr. Ooh La La and Jeff Gaines. Me and Austin. We was out in Delaware at the time. Everything went how it could go. It was good. It was like from the beginning I stepped out there, I've always like I felt the crowd. I know the crowd, you know. I was there before. I always wanted to be in the crowd, but now I'm on the stage performing. So yeah.
is there anyone early on in your career? I mean, I know it's still fairly early on in your career, but is there anyone that you'd say has really shaped your career up to this point?
As far as like my coaches.
Yeah, as far as your coaches, as somebody that's giving you some advice, and you're like, I'm going to take that and run with it, stuff like that.
Yeah. Every all my coaches, shout out to all my coaches. I was trained at MCW, as you know. So everyone that I came across stepped in the ring, from Drawlix, even Sean Cannon. Like everybody had a part of my career where I'm at today. So, you know, all I know by learning as I go.
I mean, you faced some pretty big names already, this far in your career. Who would you consider like, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to say you were starstruck or anything like that because I've not seen that out of you, and I don't know if that could happen. But who were you standing across from when you're like, this is it, man? I made it. This is where I wanted to be, and I'm here.
Oh, like I didn't have a match with him, but I met him backstage. And I think that's when I met Booker T. And I was like, yeah. And he gave me some feedback on my match. And I was like, respect. You know, it's a lot of people, it's a lot of us. I can't even go down the list, but I got the privilege to be blessed enough to do what I want to do, to give it my all, continue to give it my all, and just go for it.
Right. Change
So
it up a little bit here. Dream booking match. Who would you book Ykies to face? Anybody, alive, dead, doesn't matter. Anybody in the history of wrestling versus Ykies.
Chris Jericho! Put me in there with Chris Jericho, 1-on-1.
That'd be great. I would pay to see that.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely that would be
Y2J
amazing.
versus YY Keats.
There we go. That's going to be the next Berkeley Mania.
Make it
So
happen. Come on, fans. We can make WDWA up there.
Gavin,
We can do
are you
that.
watching? We did your job for you tonight.
so speaking of you being booked and stuff, you know, we've seen the card for next show that's been put out online and stuff. And as the Holy Grail champion, it was surprising to see you were not on that card. So when will we see Y Keys popping up at WDWA again?
Who said you never know? Just because I'm not on the card, you never know. I have the Holy Grail champion. I could show up anytime I want to show up. Like, like let's keep it real. Come on, chat. I can show up anytime I want to show up. But I'm gonna be in the meantime. Just know I'm gonna be in the gym. I'm gonna be training in the ring, and I'm gonna keep doing what I can do to be the best champion when I cash in for WDWA.
But is there one title that you have your eye on more than any of the others?
Every champion, have your eyes out. Everyone. You know, when I do come back, I'm gonna make a Prince introduction to each one.
No one is safe. Tip better
Nobody
watch.
say like, why not?
Yeah.
Like I said, this is our money in the bank. Why should anybody be spared? I came here to make a name for myself when I first came to WDWA. WDWA is my first singles debut I had as a wrestler. So, as you guys seen me over the years, I've always been in tag team. And now I'm about to show y'all why I came here. And it's to win singles competition, to win every championship that WDWA have to offer. I already won the tag team, so there's three others, and why not start at the top? Or maybe I go to the light heavyweight, maybe I go to the mid Atlantic. When they hear that why, they know.
See, I like that approach. Keep them all guessing, keep them worried, make them have to watch their back. That I like that part. I definitely like that. So at Ykies, you were talking about your workout. I've talked about your workout and stuff too. You put a lot of stuff up on social media and online. Where can people find you on social media? I know I've mentioned your blog a couple times. I saw you go up to Anderson's in Minnesota. You did a hot sauce challenge. There's a lot of fun stuff on there for people who want to know
Sheesh.
Ykies. How can they find that and get to know Ykies a little better?
You can find me on all social media: TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook. That's Ykies, DATSYKIES, where you can see me. Even YouTube too. We got two channels. If you want the vlog, it's Sexy and Blessed on YouTube with me and Chulo. But everything
And
else, that's Ykies.
we were asking about uh, championships you might cash in on and stuff like that. And lo and behold, a comment pops up in our chat from
Oh,
Mr. JTR
I can see the
who
comments.
says
Hold
you
on.
might as well let that trophy sit right there forever because the dumbest thing you could do is attempt to cash in on WDWA heavyweight champion, the crown jewel of money and power, Austin Kingsley.
You know, of course he's gonna say that. He only get money because of his group. JTR really don't want no smoke. Like, tell JTR step in the ring with me. I seen what he done. He done some things. He was, yeah. I'm not gonna go too far into that. But just know this, JTR. I know
he
what
was
y'all could do.
undefeated for a
I've
little bit.
seen everything y'all could do. I've seen your way of winning by any means necessary, whether I like it or not. Just know that I'm gonna be thinking about that. Like I said, I'm gonna be training still going to the gym, be prepared and be ready for whatever games that y'all have. Cause I know it's a lot of them. I was in Supremacy. We ran WDWA. I know what what a group could do. I've been there. I've done that. So I'm not about to be stupid. Just know.
Well, and
And don't you
it,
already
it
have a
kind of
couple
brings up
victories up
another
for Money in
question
Power?
with
Say it again.
what'd you say,
What'd you
Donnie?
say?
Oh no, I was saying,
Don,
correct me if I'm wrong, but haven't you already beat Money in Power?
I've beat them, they beat me. But when it matters the most, I beat them when I was a WDWA Tag Team Champions with Chulo. But I'm not with Chulo right now, and it's just me. So
You picked up a
AK
victory for
is a
him.
threat. AK is a threat. They got Cassius Cash Carter. I've known him for a long time. He just came back. And of course, I know Austin, man. Austin and went to war in that December, the holiday street fight. So I know exactly. It's a lot of them. It's still they still have the helm with them. They have Jeremiah. It's a lot, and you never know if somebody else is going to add to the group. So I gotta be careful, but
Well,
I'm gonna be ready.
and that brings up a question in itself is you talk about all the people they have and you got to give it to JTR. He really has assembled a group that has a lot of power behind it. And and he I know he wants to bring pretty much all the championships to Money and Power. So how smart would it be for JTR to approach you and offer you a spot in Money and Power? And if that was to happen, would you consider going to Money and Power, or would you just flat out forget
Going
it?
with the money and the power. That will be the biggest honor I can ever decline. Why would I want to be with money and power? I don't believe what they stand for. Like I said, they got everything, but they don't have respect. I have the real power with me with the WDWA crowd. He just have his group, but they not always there. The people is always there.
What
Donnie, I
about
got to tell you, this is a lot different Ykies than the one we had on the show. Well, actually, I believe it was Gavin and I had on the show. You weren't there, but I'm sure you saw it. This is a lot different Ykies than we had that night. And, I
Well,
got to hand it
listen,
to you. It's a big change, and the crowd's liking it, and it seems to have really propelled you.
I'm always been real. I can always say that. I've never been a hater or anything. How much is the crowd worth, Keys? The crowd worth everything. If there's no crowd, there's no money. What are you talking about? These people is why I do what I do. They would even when they didn't like me, and now that they love me or they like me, and if they still don't like me, it's still worth it. I'ma still go out there. I'ma still show up and still got show people why. I got the keys. And speaking about the people, for all my fans, all my supporters, I got some new merch, everybody. Here's your own keychain you
I
can
was
come
about
and
to
buy
ask you
at the
about that.
stand next time you see me. We got the keys, right? Yeah, you can put it on your keychain, you can put it on your book bag, you can put it as an earring, you can do it anywhere, any place. Just let the people know that you got the keys now. And that's why we gotta flip that, put that in the advertisement.
JTR,
I hate that
he's
I want
highly
the key back. I
disappointed.
want the key for my keys. That's what I hate that
JTR,
about
do you want to come up here? You got something to say? You doing all this Twitter gangster typing up and everything. Where that power at? Where that money at, man? We're not gonna let him run our interview.
it. Hey,
Did you
he
guys
shows
have a
up when he wants
question?
to.
Do anyone else have any questions in the comments for me? I can't see anything.
Well, I keep watching the comments. If any of the questions come up, I'll definitely put them up if
Suzanne, I
somebody
got
has
you.
one. So, but Donnie,
I
what
have a
else we got
privacy
here?
screen.
I was saying, what do you think the wildest crowd reaction you've had so far? Be it from your days,
Jeez.
as a
You
bad
know,
guy, or where everybody, like you said, everybody loves you now. So I don't know which one's wild. What's the wildest crowd reaction you got? And I want to add to that. You can't use Sheila in that. So minus whatever Sheila has done to you in the past, or Susie. No Susie, no Sheila. Tell us a wild crowd reaction.
Sheila is a WDWA fan. You can only like just respect her. She is her own person in her own league, and she represent what you come to see. You want a fan that could feel it, react, and be into it. And I love that for her and her family and everyone that come out there because they be involved. You know, but The boos be as loud as the cheers. Like that's not just the saying; it is true. But I think that the biggest cheer is like I think it's a tie between something. But me winning the Holy Grail tournament, I think that was the biggest one. And the second place will be when me and Austin had that street fight. And I shoved that lit it up bat right up his ass. The crowd went crazy.
Yeah, that was a loud one. That was definitely a loud one.
They
Hey,
went
I
crazy.
mean, you just sold us all keychains. Any other new Ykies merchandise? What's the Ykies brand? Where you looking to expand that brand? Because you're not just an individual. You've got your Ykies brand, and you're getting into
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. You got your shirts. Now we got the keychains. What else can we expect from Ykies?
Of course I have shirts, keychains. The more I just believe that you guys should just follow me and just like subscribe, notification as everything always changing, new updates. I always talk even when we in person. Don't feel shy. You can always come up to me, you know? But let me describe what this is, right? Let everybody see it. Okay. The yin yang, the letter Y, the keys, what the keys is all about. There's good and bad with everything someone do. So finding that balance, being able to take control into your life and what you have to offer, that's what I represent. Taking control, don't let the people, not the fans, but the naysayers, the haters, the doubt, even yourself get in the way of the great things that you could achieve in life because you have the keys. I have the keys. And that's why.
Hold that chain up there again.
And that's why. Doo-doo. You see it? I got a privacy screen on my phone.
I think you better bring
Yeah.
a lot of those to the next show you're at. That's for sure. You probably already sold them
Limited
out.
edition, but I have some available for everyone. When's the next show after Spectacular? Is it? I think May. Well, you
I
guys
think it's
definitely
May
gonna see
9th,
me in May.
Yeah, Code Red.
Code
which
Red.
will actually May 9th will actually be Susie's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Susie.
So that show will
You
be on Susie's
guys
birthday.
probably see me at the end of May. I have some places I have to take over in the kingdom and
As
come
far as the
back.
kingdom goes, where do you see your kingdom expanding in the next few years? I know it's been a wild ride so far, but I mean, there's just like
We're
this rocket ship taking you up. So, how far do you think that rocket ship's going to take you in the next however many years? What are your goals right now?
my goals right now is to be signed, whether it's for any of the promotions that's on TV, give me a nice contract, be global, bring the wide worldwide.
It's good.
That's always been my goal. I see what they've done, they inspire me to get me to where I'm at now. And I would like to do that even more with the people. And so represent. And
And
that's
with
why.
and with that, like somebody maybe looking to follow your footsteps and everything. Any words of encouragement, words of advice you can give somebody maybe wanting to start out or think about it?
Yep. People always hit me up all the time. You can always come to me if you want to. I know I'm a very confident person. I do have the keys. I'm not cocky. I'm very humble. Some people may disagree, but the best thing I can say is to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. If you don't believe in you, why should somebody else believe in you? Just keep on going. Just one step at a time until you got to crawl before you can walk, and you got to walk before you can run. So just go out there and do it. And even do it while you're scared, do it while you're afraid, do it while you don't even think that you could do it. Just know that you could do it. So do it. It's like it's hard to say, but you got to push through and just yeah. And one day you could be the Holy Grail champion. A lot of people ask me how could they get into wrestling. WDWA have a wrestling school. If you out here, you in this area, just sign up. They be having open house all the time. They have great coaches. R- Ryo, I would love to face him. Like, give me a one-on-one match for him.
That'd be a good
For
match too.
anyone. Hmm.
There's all the information right there for
Wow.
World Domination Wrestling Academy. You know, call that number on the screen, text the number on the screen, or just reach out to WDWA on Facebook, and they'll be more than happy to get you all set up. And you'll be training under the great Ryo, and you know, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. And use my referral code YYY. It's like-
Mhm. There you go.
Let them know that YYY said I could do it, and you said you could do it first. I'm just here to just agree to it. But yeah, I love wrestling. I like all that it comes with, and I give it my all. So this has been like the number one thing I used to always do. I'd be at parties with my friends when I was younger. Well, I'm still young, so let me not say that. Back in the day before wrestling, before I started wrestling, I would be somewhere. Oh, look who's in the chat,
I don't even know
chatting.
what he's putting up. What is
I
that? Is
will
that a
pull up
clown
on
he's putting
you.
up?
That's a
He's just
little
looking in the
clown face
mirror.
there.
He's just
Okay.
looking in the mirror. Did he pay to put that up there? Or y'all just what's going on?
No, he's putting that up there.
He's
Nice to meet
spamming the
you,
chat
Philip.
with it.
Yeah.
All right. So who's my favorite wrestlers? It should be Austin. Can I meet my favorite wrestler, Austin? Austin Kingsley. I want to meet you in person, Austin Kingsley.
Mm.
I'm gonna have a good gift if I meet you. I'm gonna have a good welcoming gift for you. Keep playing with me.
Would that gift
Hopefully
be
this works
to
out
the
right.
head the way he did it?
Well, you know what they say: live by the sword, die by the sword. So just as you get them, you might lose them. That's why.
Why is definitely telling him why tonight.
I'd
It's
say
so hard to
so.
not like this guy. I want to really bad now that everybody likes you, but it's so hard. You make it really difficult.
Well, what happened?
No, I said you just make it difficult. You're like a really hard guy to not like.
Oh, I'm also unpredictable, so you never know. I'm
That's
not.
true.
Yeah, I'm just unpredictable. Like Austin, he didn't know I was going to stand up for myself. He thought he was going to talk trash about us in the back and think I wasn't going to come out there. Even Erstoke, I didn't really respond to his promo that he said on me, talking about I want to be like him. I just wanted to be the best I could be. So, you know, and continue to be the best and show people why I believe that I am the best. So, what a year I'm gonna have from 2026 to next year, 2027 is what I have to cash this in, right?
Right? Full year.
So
Yep.
every time a champion come out, I want them to know they gonna be having in the back of their head, why, 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 why? That's how Austin gonna be with Money and Power. JTR gonna be like, why? Let
And
me
of course
stop.
that's
Happy
if
birthday,
Austin
Tina.
keeps it.
I see Tina down in the chat. She wants you. She even wants you to beat Austin Kingsley the fifth up. That
I
would
will
be a
do it for
birthday
you,
gift to
Tina.
Tina, beating up
We're
Austin
gonna
Kingsley.
we're gonna take a good photo when that happen. Shout out to Tina, Photo G, the best photographer out here.
Yeah, and I can't blame her for that. I mean, look how many times Austin has grabbed her and pulled her in front of him, and it's poor Tina. I tell you.
Poor Tina.
I don't think he's the only one, to be fair, that's used Tina as a shield. I think I remember a couple other people using her as a shield too. None of the other photographers, to the best of my knowledge, have been used as shields. Juan, no.
Well, well,
Jerry,
she
no.
should send an invoice to JTR. All that
There you
money
go.
he got. Yeah, Tina, send an invoice to JTR. Get some back pay. Yeah, clock that. Yeah, get some back pay.
She needs hazardous pay. I hope she may already be getting that. I don't know.
So, what was you guys' reaction when I won the Holy Grail? Because I don't think that neither one had me to win it. I think
No, he did.
Haas
He had
might
it
have me in
possibly.
contendership. Haas and Alex. Did you say
Yeah,
AKO CEO?
I said I said you would win the whole thing. So I said that you would win the whole thing. Andrew said CEO would win, and
That was
of
crazy.
course Donnie said that Jamie Hall would win.
Yeah, Jamie
It's the
Hall.
Scooby Doo episode. It might have happened had it not been for that meddling ranch hand.
I heard your little conspiracy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sheila was there. Thank you, Sheila. Sheila had my back. She said, "Did you hear me screaming? We heard you, Sheila. We heard you."
It's hard to not.
But I was just very happy when you won it. And like I say, I had you from the beginning. I had the faith in you, unlike some
Thank
people.
you.
You know, I
I
knew you could
appreciate it.
do it.
Did you see Alex, the kid that was in the
Hmm.
crowd? He came out there. I was like,
Oh
that was
yeah.
that was cool. I was like, wow, that moment I just had like an epiphany and everything of just like this is why I do what I do. He was like genuinely happy and excited. And I love that.
He was
I love
very
that.
excited. That was
Yeah,
definitely
and
cool.
we had him on not the last show, but the show before that. We had him on and he made picks and he was pretty good at it. I mean, uh him and his dad tied with me. I believe
Yeah.
he was one behind me and Gavin I think only had like two right. So he beat Gavin hands down. So I mean, he's pretty good at the picks.
Yeah.
So I like Big Al, and if you want to be one to make picks, let me know in the chat that you'd like to do it, and I'll be sure to bring you on.
Okay.
But yeah, so I
Yeah,
appreciate you
that's
coming on,
that's right,
and
Sheila.
definitely look forwards to seeing your reign. And any last words, any message you want to leave all the champions or all the people with, and here before we let you go.
Yep. For everybody out there. Continue to come to WWA shows. Continue to bring your championships to the shows. I will bring mine, you bring yours, and let's have a party. That's why
All
keeps.
right. All right. Well, thank you for joining us again, Ykies. It's been a pleasure to talk with you, irregard, whether everybody agrees or not, because, I'm not so sure that some people think it was a pleasure.
Oh,
It's
it's
But
always
okay.
nice to be around. Hate that. I hate that fact that he wears on you. I guess. Yeah, yeah. But
but definitely,
and they
Uh,
say the best wrestlers, they don't just perform; they make you feel something. And White Keys is definitely one of those guys that makes you feel something, one way or the other. You're not going to be sitting in the middle. You're either going to love the guy, you're going to hate the guy, you're going to love doing both. That's White Keys. So,
so
okay,
thank
he
you for
coming
joining
around.
us.
You know, you getting whatever you like. Thank
And
you. Thank you all for having me. Thank y'all. I will do some picks. I got you, Sheila. I'll do some picks. Y'all can put me back up here later, do some picks.
actually, we gonna go ahead and go into it. And so
Oh,
far,
right now?
nobody else has said they
yeah,
want to do it. So,
do it.
Okay, why not?
all
Why
right,
not?
sounds like a plan to me. To me.
Okay, I gotta zoom this up, you guys. Okay.
Let me get this all ready here. All right, so we're gonna have Ykies and we're gonna have Donnie and myself. All right. So next show, of course, like we say, we know that Ykies is not on the card,
Advertise.
unfortunately. But like you said, that don't mean you ain't gonna be there because there is always surprises. We are always left with more questions than we are answers at WDWA. But you know, let's start out here with the commission versus Tommy Vex and Ace Christian. Now, this is definitely a strange matchup. You know, putting Tommy Vex and Ace Christian together in a team, and they're going to take on the commission. Uh, it's definitely an interesting matchup to say the least. Are Tommy Vex going to get along with Ace Christian? It's I don't know. What's your thoughts, Donnie, on this matchup?
I think it's going to be a very entertaining matchup because, again, I imagine the commission is going to be a well-oiled machine out there, and you have no idea what to expect with Tommy Vex, even when it's only Tommy Vex. And for that matter, can you tell me a time when Tommy's been in a tag team where some shenanigans didn't end up happening?
Right.
So I got it. I'm just going with the commission because I don't see that Ace and Tommy are going to be able to coexist at all. Just don't see it happening.
Yeah,
All right.
I believe that this is the commission debut as a tag team here at
I
WDWA,
think
right?
this is at least first time they're going to be at WDWA, so it is their debut here at least. I don't
This
know
is
about
their tag
anywhere
team
else.
debut. They wrestle around the world, especially like in the areas in Maryland. I know that they are a threat, and the commissioner will write you up a slip, Tommy. So if you think you're gonna be doing all that plan, you're gonna get a fine for it. But I do know after my tag team partner, the now like heavyweight champion, had beat Ace Christian, he's ready to get back on the market and show himself why he was a great champion, a great light heavyweight champion. So if that's him teaming up with Tommy Vicks, and Tommy Vicks has something to prove too. He's been always doing that outstanding job. So I think I'm gonna have to the commission. I love y'all, but I gotta give it to ah. I hate going against teams that's not a tag team. Like I'm all for tag team wrestling. But Ace Christian, my son, and Tommy Vicks. They got it. I think they got
All right. And, this one's a hard one to pick, like I say, because I always hate going against Ace, and every time I do, I catch a bunch of flack for it. But I can't see him and Tommy Vex coexisting with each other. I just can't see it. So I'm
Tommy
sorry.
Vex beat up a mascot, did he not? Did he not get in a fight with a mascot for some hockey team like a week or two ago?
It's hard to say with him. I'm going to have to go with the commission. And that's just because I don't see the cohesion between Tommy Vex and Ace Christian. It's just, I don't know.
it.
It's going to be a lot for them to overcome.
Yeah.
But I know I'm going to catch a lot of heat for that. Ace,
Me too.
sorry, it's not because of you, really. But, um, I don't know.
Yeah.
The next matchup we're going to talk about, another man making his debut at WDWA. We are going to see the debut of Buckshot Billy, and he's going to be facing Mason Drake. And I believe this is the third time we'll see Mason Drake in WDWA. Definitely an interesting matchup. I know Mason Drake. I don't think he's won. I know he was in a 6-man tag match, and that didn't go very well for him. And Then he was in a singles match, and that didn't go very well for him. So he's
Let's
hungry
compare
for a
it was
win.
Grim. That was
Yeah,
Grim. More than one man in there. It seems like at times.
yeah, he was at a big disadvantage, being put against Grim. So
Oh,
what's your
okay.
thoughts on this one? Why?
Well, we had someone that was just coming from a championship match with Grim to a WDWA graduate student. We should put that in. I've seen him come from the bottom and put that work in to be able to debut here at WDWA. So this is a WDWA student original of this new era, and I've seen his training. I'm not too familiar with Mason, but he is a veteran. But I'm gonna give it to, Bu- uh,
Buckshot
I'm
Billy.
gonna give it to Buckshot Billy, not the
All
referee
right.
Billy. We know Billy want to be a wrestler, but we talk about Buckshot Billy. Clock that.
Yeah, we talked about Buckshot Billy, the man that the promo we saw from him. We didn't show it here tonight, but if you've seen it on the page, he's changing the oil on his truck. So I mean,
And he's sponsored by Right Boys, though. So even if the
yes,
truck,
sponsored by Right Boys Towing and Hauling.
that
He
was an
coming in,
awesome.
making a name.
Yeah,
So Donnie, your thoughts on this one?
man. I want to go for Buckshot. I do, but Mason's been on a losing streak, and I think he's got to snap it at some point. So I think I'm gonna have to go
Yeah.
with Mason Drake.
All right. And, honestly, on this one, I think, Donnie, you're going to be on the island because I think I'm going to have to take Buckshot Billy. He's coming out, his first match here. Now, don't get me wrong, it's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah.
Mason Drake is nobody to sleep on, but I just see Buckshot Billy pulling this one out and getting his first victory. Um, and Mason Drake just leaving completely frustrated. But that's just my thoughts. So you're on the island here, Donnie.
Maybe, but then I remembered Buckshot said he was going to bring us some moonshine or something. So maybe I got to switch over to Buckshot because maybe if
Ah,
I ain't
you
getting that
supposed to be.
moonshine, I'll switch over to Buckshot. There we go.
He could
So
be
now,
bought
now
out.
you want Buckshot. All right, let me change yours
Stay
to
where you was
Buckshot.
at.
All right,
Offer some moonshine.
the next match we'll talk about here is going to see Cisco versus Tyler Hastings. This is going to be another interesting one, two absolute great athletes here between Cisco and Tyler. Two high flyers going at it. You can see either of them come off the top rope or fly to the outside. Both of them fast paced. It's definitely going to be interesting. And this one's going to be a hard one to call, Donnie.
Yeah, well, I think Tyler's still the guy with the supply, but now he's changed up what he's supplying, and he's just supplying a lot of pain to everybody that happens to be in his way. And he said he was going to do it, and he's lived up to it. Really, he took our announce table out for the first time, I believe, ever in WDWA. We had a Grim through the table. But I think it's got to be Tyler Hastings on this one. I know it's going to be a great fight, and I know Cisco's going to give it his all, but, this is a new Tyler Hastings. He does what he wants to do, and he's been successful in doing it thus far. So,
Well, and not just, you say first time in WDWA history, could be the first time Grim's ever been put through a table because I don't think I've ever heard those words before. Grim through a table. Yeah.
the table, yeah, it was crazy that it even broke. I was like, this is not a normal table that someone can put through.
So I think I'm going to have to take Tyler on that one too. And hopefully he doesn't put the table in my lap again.
If you tell
Although
him to, if he tells you to say it, just say it. Just
I
say
was going to say last time he said he did it because I didn't say he was the guy with the supply when he told me to. But uh,
That's
Waukese,
why we
what's your
can only
thoughts?
tell him you're left.
I believe that this could go down and be the match of the night. Um, Ty, I'm gonna have to give it to Ty. They both are former champions, and they both, since I've been to WDWA, they like the pillars of WDWA. Um, from when I came in like 3 years ago, before it's been taken over, and yeah, they both gatekeepers, but I'm gonna give it to Ty. I can't go, I can't go against them. I
Yeah,
may
that
face them recently in the ring. That's how I got qualified. But I think that Ty is still on a mission to be the heavyweight champion.
yeah, and that so that's unanimous. Tyler Hastings on that one, and definitely, you know, not to sleep on Cisco in any means, but it's going to be a tough fight, and just this new attitude of Tyler and this new aggression, he's tough to beat. So next, we're going to see Riot Act in tag team action against Tiffany Avatar and Ashton Nicole. So this should be another great match, in the women's division here. And personally, I think I'm going to give it to Riot Act on this one.
Yeah, I'm not going to
So
argue with you. I can't go against Nahir Robles. Juan would probably just cancel me at that point. You would never see me again. But yeah, I can't go against the Riot Act. I got to say, Riot Act's going to take this one too.
your thoughts,
I,
your thoughts, Keys?
I felt like Booker T. I was like, oh yeah. We go over Riot Act. They've been traveling the world internationally and out here in this areas, from the West Coast to East Coast, everywhere. So I know Tiffany. I be hearing people saying the cotton candy girl, but she's sweet, but she got a lot of spice. She got a streak in her too. I know that I never seen. I haven't met her partner yet, but I know that they're gonna come here to make a statement as well. So I'm gonna give it to Riot Act.
All right, that two in a row that we're unanimous on
Wow.
here.
Jeez.
So the next matchup we're going to talk about. This is a four-way elimination number one contenders tag team match. That's a mouthful. But we are going to see Legion versus the Freak Show versus
Eee.
Sigma Males versus This Is War. Four-way elimination. So, it's going to come down to the last team standing.
Wow.
Definitely going to be a lot of hard hitting action in this one. And, I think this covers all the ends of the spectrums here, between Legion and This Is War and Freak Show and Sigma Males. It's definitely going to be an interesting matchup.
Winner
So,
becomes the number one contender.
so what's your thoughts on this, Waukes?
I love tag team wrestling. All are great team. They've been putting in that work as an actual tag team. The Freak Show is making their return, and they gonna get freaky with somebody. Uh, so who do I think I have it coming down to? I feel like the only team that I know that actually beat me. If you could beat me and my teammate, I could give you a little something, something. But they only beat us because of Austin. But the Sigma Mills did beat us at Berkey Mania last year.
Yeah, well, they also had Mr. Anderson, so there's that one too.
Yeah, they had that part. But when was the last time we seen LDJ here with the
It's been
Sigma
a
Mill?
while.
So I know Steve, I tagged with him to qualify. So I know Steve is ready, and I know LDJ is ready to put some more warheads on people's foreheads other than mine. So I give
So
it to them.
you're going with the
I think
Sigma males.
it's gonna come down to the freak show and the Sigma Mills.
All right, Donnie, who do you have winning this one?
This is a tough one. All right, because I want to maybe do a process of elimination here, and doing such that I look at this is war. They're like the only team that. Well, I mean, there's not really anybody out there with the Sigmas either. But this is war came out in their last tag match and completely obliterated their opponents. They looked amazing doing it. So I hate to go against this is war, but how do you move a guy like Manchild, who's got so much to say? We know from our interview with Manchild and Freaky Doyle and the Freak Show in the past, one of the past episodes. And then you got the Sigmas, and they've been successful pretty much every time. I think the Brothers Gray did finally get one over on him, and then Legion with Dex. So yeah, this is a tough one. You don't know what Dex is
Process of
going to do.
elimination. Who you think first
Yeah.
getting eliminated?
First, I'm thinking there's going to be. I think it's going to be This Is War is going to get taken out first. I think it's going to end up being between Legion, because Dex is going to pull something out and maybe take control of somebody again. Who knows? We haven't seen that in a while. But I think it's going to be Legion and the Sigmas in the end of it. They're going to find some way to incapacitate Manchild, get him out of it. Maybe the handcuffs again. Maybe that's the way Dex gets involved, and it's going to be his guys and Sigma males, and I think the Sigmas will take it in the end. So we're going to see.
Okay, so they go for the Sigmas.
Yeah, Sigmas will be the number one contender to UCK.
All right.
Your new
Well,
tag
honestly, this one, I think it's going to come down to Sigmas and This Is War. And that is going to be a heck of a matchup to watch. And it would be very hard to pick the winner between those two, because they're both really good tag teams. But, honestly, I think I'm going to give this one to This Is War. I think I see them coming out victorious in this one. Like you said, I don't know how they're going to incapacitate Manchild, but somehow I foresee him being incapacitated and taken out. And then, I think you'll have Legion. They'll end up out of it, and it just come down to the Sigmas and This Is War. And then you're going to see a really good, not that it's not going to be good beforehand, but between those two, that matchup is just going to be a heck of a matchup to watch, and it's going to be a good one.
And remember, they
but I
just
think
was
This Is
facing
War
each other.
You're right. I was going
They just had a
to
match a
say
couple
they
of months
faced each
ago.
other, and that was a great match.
It was a great match.
Yeah.
It was vicious.
So
So
far, too.
I
could
think
they
you're
run
going
it
to
back?
see the rematch of that, and I think This Is War will come out on top. But
See, this was all
then
about.
then we're going to go into a chair on a pole match between Bo Ross and Vic Jones. We have seen these two going at it back and forth, back and forth. I think last time we saw anything of them, I think Vic and Bo got into a brawl, and who knows where they ended up. They went out the door, and we haven't seen them since. They might still be brawling down Route 11 somewhere. I don't know. But
30
they're
days
going to
later.
have a chair on a pole match, and
So you got to climb up the pole unleash the chair? And is it the how do we decide on the winner?
Well, I'm thinking the way most of those matches work, it'll be suspended, I'm guessing, in the corner, and you climb up. The first person to gain control of the chair from the pole can use the chair legally in the match, but then you
Okay.
ultimately have to pin or submit your opponent after that, I believe. Um, but the chair becomes a legal weapon in the match once it's unlocked. So,
Yeah. The cake
I,
boss had got angry. He then went crazy. And now instead of making cakes, he hit people with chairs. Why? Oh my goodness. This is a new side of Vic. He said he tired of playing nice with people. He came from being the Mid Atlantic champion to feeling like he became a background at WDWA. And he been there for a long time and he don't like that. And he actually pissed off. Before I had a conversation with him a long time ago and he told me that. And who knew he would turn out to how he is right now? Like he's taking his spot, whether you like it or not, and at Bo Ross' expense. So Bo Ross, I don't know. I'm gonna have to give it to Vic because he's determined. But Bo Ross want his vengeance. He want to get his lick back. Who knows,
yeah,
chat? Who y'all think?
and think about it too. Bo is completely aggravated at this point, and we've seen Bo when he's pissed off before. You know, um, Look at that ambulance match that he had at
Yeah,
Berkeley Mania. So we know what Bo can do when he's mad, and it's definitely it's not going to be a snooze fest, that's for sure. And I don't think
yeah,
Bo is a pushover by any means, but ultimately, with this new attitude Vic has and being so aggressive, I think I see Vic taking this one. And what's your thoughts, Donnie?
Violent Vic Jones. That's what he's turned into now. I mean, and I've known Vic Jones for a very long time, and all different versions of Vic. He's been the baddest of the bad. He's been, loved by the fans, and done the right thing, and now he's back to kind of like when we met and everything. Doing whatever he wants to do, and he's got the vision. He knows where he wants to go, and he feels like he's been blocked from getting there, and the ways he's tried in the past, and he's going for what he thinks it is. He's going to take it. He's going to make people hurt. He's going to beat them down, and we've seen the hatred he has for whatever reason for Bo Ross right now, and I think Bo Ross is in over his head again. I got to go with Vic.
All right. Then the last matchup we got to talk about here is one that I'm sure Ykies is going to have his eye on. Heavyweight championship match where we're going to see Axel Crow contend for the WDWA World Heavyweight Championship against Austin Kingsley. Wow. Axel Crow being in the championship contention.
wow,
It's I believe it's well deserved. Axel has really he's really been doing a lot since coming into WDWA, and he's put up with a lot though from Legion, but
yeah,
you know all the fight he's put in, all the hard work he's put to get to where he's at, I think it's a well deserved shot. But
hmm,
you've got JTR going to be on the outside there. Who knows how many other members of Money and Power will be present, because just like we said with Ykees, he's not on the card, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be there. But Money and Power is the same way. There may not be all of Money and Power on the card. Who's to say they're not all going to show up? you know so I think, and you've got the whole factor of Legion, they're going to be there. and the problems that Axel has had with Legion, I don't see this going well in the end for Axel. As much as I hate to say that, because I love Axel. I'm friends with Axel, but honestly, I think he wins it, but he wins it by disqualification. I don't think he gets the belt. Um,
Oh,
but that's my prediction. So I
interesting.
have Axel winning, but not winning the title. So, Ykies, what's your thought?
Well, I could agree with some of the stuff that you said. Axel have been putting in a lot of work in his personal life and his professional life to get to where he at. So it's well deserved. And since the Marcus King has stepped down, we had two new champions in Grim and in Austin. And it's time for everybody to step it up. So, Axel, this is your time to step it up and show everybody why you here. From going through what you had with Legion, that was a preview, a mini preview of what you're gonna have to go through with JTR and Money and Power and the heavyweight champion Austin Kingsley. So good luck to you. Whoever wins, congratulations. You never know. I might give you a high five. But I'm gonna have to give this match to Austin. I know Austin is really he wants to prove himself that he's not a winkling, he's not an afterthought, and he's always been who he say he is today, and that's championship material, and can't disagree with it. He is the champion, and I don't think that he's gonna let anybody take that away, especially JTR. Not gonna let that happen. So
All right,
unbiased
Donnie.
opinion.
I gotta agree with both of you guys. You've made all the points already. Why it's gonna be Austin. I mean, you went actually by DQ, but it's gonna be Austin because again, you've got Legion. We've talked about them. We've talked about Money and Power. He may have the Carnival of Souls at his back, but he's got a full army in front of him, and a lot of guys. That's think how many guys is that? Like 9, 10 dudes. If everybody from both factions shows up, that's like 10 guys. One
Jeez,
on
can we
10.
see their W
JTR,
two
I think, picked
forms?
11. Yeah, one against 11. So unless we're letting the fans in the ring there, and then that would definitely change things. I got to go with Austin. I mean, if
Just
we're
letting
throwing
Sheila in
Sheila,
the ring would
that's
change
what I'm
things.
saying. If we throw Sheila and Linda and some of them in there, I'm going to definitely reconsider. We start
But
throwing people in there. Susie, she can get in there too.
but yeah, it's definitely going to be a heck of a show. Something you don't want to miss. Spring Spectacle live at the South Berkeley Fire Hall this Saturday, the 25th. Make sure you're there. It's going to be a heck of a time. But if you do miss it, like I say, be sure to check out Frontline afterwards. It might be a little bit afterwards, but be sure to check it out. You'll get caught up on everything you missed, and it'll just be a great show, though, I'm sure. So,
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward. I know I said that Tom and Sicko might have match of the night, but I'm also now looking forward to Big Jones. That the chairs on the pole match. I think that's gonna be something.
yeah, there's several matches there I think could take match of the night. So
Yeah, it's a
it's
lot.
definitely going to be a show not to miss. We'll definitely be looking around to see if you're there. That way you can take advantage of this heavyweight championship match when it's over. You could
Should I
you
pull
could cash
the
in.
Cassius Carter and just go there with the mask on? Steven, of course I went for the Sigma Mills. You guys reading the chat.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys for having me. It was an
So
Great
honor.
having.
thank you for being here. It's been a privilege to talk with you, and just best of luck to you in the future, and can't wait to see when you decide to cash that trophy in there, because it's definitely going to be an
All right. I
experience, I'm
need
sure.
a request from you guys. Susan just gave me a good idea. You guys can invite me to the broadcast table so I can have a
Anytime,
closer look.
anytime there,
Thank you, Susan,
anytime.
You're
for the
Just
welcome.
idea.
You
I
are
would
welcome
before you did
anytime, my man.
it last time.
I might need to sit down and just watch all my options, before I can make a decision that's so big.
Well, you
That
are
would be
welcome
great.
at the broadcast table anytime. If Donnie gets too much for you, we can tape his mouth shut or something.
Oh, I sit next to Sheila. I could sit next to you, Sheila.
But yeah, definitely. So thank you for being here, Ykies. Thank you for sitting in with us. And like I say, it's been a pleasure.
Don't
You
forget
know,
your keychains next time you see me. Wah, wah,
that's it.
wah.
The Ykies keychain. That way you have the keys. So, all right. It's been a pleasure. Have a good night and good luck.
Peace out. Bye.
Donnie, what
Wow,
a night.
Ykies was outstanding, wasn't he? He did an outstanding job, and just the card that we got going in to Saturday is amazing. I can't wait to see. And the more we talked about it, and just seeing the whole lineup, and getting to talk about it with everyone, talk about it with the fans and everything tonight, it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of the fans put their picks in the chat. Um, you were more than welcome to be the fan to come on and put your picks in. And all you had to do was let me know you wanted to. I did send out a few messages to fans and didn't get response back, but I know some people are busy and it is what it is. So, but definitely, you know, when we're on, let us know you want to be the fan, and we'd love to have you. But it's been a great night. Um, as always. And, special thank you to Wrestle Talk. As a lot of you know, we use the Wrestle Talk platform here to bring you elevation. So this is a great partnership we have with Wrestle Talk Podcast. You can catch Wrestle Talk Podcast right here every other Tuesday night. Last week we were supposed to have Kurt Gannon. We did advertise him. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it. We are trying to reschedule with him and get something going there. Um, but we'll see what happens. But tune in next Tuesday night, 6:50 Central Time, 7:50 Eastern Time. Uh, Wrestle Talk Podcast, and we'll have another great guest lined up for you. And just always having a lot of fun. We are, I think we'll be show 340, 350. I'm sure Susie will pop it up here in just a minute. It won't
Yeah, I
surprise
was
me.
waiting. I was like, I'll know in just a minute when Susie puts the answer up. I thought
But
it was at hundreds or something.
yeah, so definitely definitely something to tune into. You mentioned earlier the FWWC. That's the Fantasy Wrestling Worldwide chapter. Be sure to check them out. Um, for those who don't know, like we said, it's fantasy wrestling, and you have fantasy football, you have fantasy basketball, baseball, all these fantasy sports. We have fantasy wrestling. We do picks. A lot of our picks are based on WWE events. You can Once you get to the main roster with us, you can compete for titles. Um, they are real titles. They aren't the Walmart special for WWE titles. They are real, honest to goodness FWWC branded titles. For the past 3 years, I've held the hardcore title. Unfortunately, I did not retain the hardcore title at WrestleMania we called it Universe Mania.
Who was
Um,
it that took it from you? Who finally broke your streak?
the man that actually broke my streak was Sick. He actually was in the chat earlier. His real name is David Owen. Um, you know, he broke my streak, but that's okay. I have my eyes on bigger prizes. You know, I've been telling our Warriors Heart champion Gabriel Arsene that he better watch out because my sights are set on him now, and I'm going for bigger things. We'll see what happens though. But so yeah, check out FWWC Fantasy Wrestling Worldwide chapter on Facebook, and you know we have a lot of fun there. Join our family. You know, click join on Facebook, and there'll be a few questions there to answer those questions, and somebody, probably myself, will get in touch with you, and we'll get you going. So special thanks to the FWWC, and thank you to Wrestle Talk Podcast. And of course, as a member of the Wrestle Talk Podcast, thank you to WDWA, Gavin Jackson, you know, on the Wrestle Talk side of things. Uh, this has been a great partnership there as well. So we thank you for your support of us, and it's just been great.
We
So
still need to get Renee Martinez, the Night Owl himself, to fly out to a show. You're the Night Owl. You can make it.
exactly. You know, we keep trying, and he says he's going to do it one day. So we're waiting. You know, might have to have him as a special commentary. He used to do commentary out there in Kansas City. We might have to have him special commentary if he comes out. Who knows?
That would be great.
But yeah, so definitely looking forward to that. And as always, thank you to WDWA Nation. Thank you, fans. You know, we do what we do for you, and it's great to have you guys in the comments. We love each and every one of you. So thank you very much. So Donnie, go ahead and close us out here with any remarks you might have, and go ahead and take us home, my friend.
Man, it was an amazing show. Again, thanks to our guests, Ykies. It's our Holy Grail winner. Thanks for all the fans for tuning in. And again, remember, you guys, you can pick against us every other week as we release the cards. So don't be scared. Come on here. Just say it in the chat. You want to go against us, and come on the way in. Same as Ykies did with us this time. Looking forward to seeing everybody Saturday. It's going to be a great show. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. You know, never know what's going to happen. We say it all the time. We always end up with more questions than we have answers after every show. But it was great spending time with you guys. We'll catch you at the show. See you Saturday.